Here comes motherhood.
Okay, I'm going to be doing problems 1 and 2. Everyone say hi to yourselves because you're on camera. Except you're not, it's fine. Okay, so this is currently in vertex form, which means, and the way we have vertex form, I'll just write it down here. Vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k, where the coordinate hk is the vertex. So when I look at this formula, so from here, hk, but keep in mind this is a minus h in there from that. So because it was plus 5 in parentheses, that actually means the x-coordinate of my vertex is negative 5. Okay, so the x-coordinate of the vertex is a negative 5, and the y-coordinate is positive 3. So I'm going to go over negative 5 and then positive 3. Okay, so that's my vertex. I already know that also my axis of symmetry is always x equals, and it's always the x-coordinate of the vertex. So I know that already as well. Okay, so my a value here is negative 2. The way we finish graphing is we use this 1a, 3a, 5a pattern. That is the growth rate of a quadratic. And since our a value is negative 2, I'm just doing 1 times a, which is negative 2. So I got negative 2. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. So here's what that means, is that this is my first movement. So from the vertex, I go over 1, and then it's negative 2, meaning down 2. Over 1, down 2. Now my next movement from that point I just graphed is over 1, down 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. And if I had the graph space, I'd go over 1, down 10, but I don't have the graph space. Therefore, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Over 1, down 2, over 1, down 6. And I'm just going to make those a lovely graph. Isn't that nice? Okay, so now that I have this, I'm going to go through here. And now this says approximate where necessary, write intervals in both notations. I'm going to tell you, I don't really care which way you write your intervals. So I'm just going to cross that out. Write intervals. Yes, you should do that. I don't care which notation. So first, our x-intercepts. I look where the graph is crossing the x-axis. That looks like, I'm just going to take a ballpark guess, negative 6.2. And my y-coordinate was 0, so it's negative 6.2 comma 0. And now negative 3.8. Like I said, I'm just ballparking here. Okay. My y-intercept, well, hot dang, I don't see it crossing. But here's what I know, is that it should always, the x-coordinate of the y-intercept, because that's where I'm crossing the x-axis, this x value is 0. So if I know the x-coordinate, all I have to do is plug it into my equation to find the y-coordinate. So down here, I can say x equals 0, y equals negative 2 times 0 plus 5 squared plus 3. And I can honestly just type that in a calculator as it is, or I can do it by hand. I personally have no preference. I'm not going to use a calculator because it's being used at the moment. So I'm just going to do it by hand. Okay, so negative 2 times 25 plus 3 plus negative 50 plus 3, and I get negative 47. That's exciting. Okay, so that's all that so far. Min and max value, this just wants the y of the vertex. Which is 3. Well, hey, there's the min-max value. If that's the y of the vertex, that wants the x value of the max or min. Hey, guess what? That wants the x of the vertex. Which is negative 5. Cool. Domain is always the same. It's always negative infinity to positive infinity. range. Here's what I want you to know. This is bottoms up. So I'm just looking from the bottom to the top of my graph, and I'm looking at the y coordinates. So going from the bottom, I see down arrows. So that is negative infinity. And then going up to the top, it goes until 3. I'm going to put a bracket on that because the bracket means, yes, you are for sure, you have a coordinate at y equals 3. That is there. Okay, increasing and decreasing. So increasing and decreasing, both of these, this changes at the axis of symmetry, AOS, for short. So if we look at this, if I'm tracing this from left to right, I see I have half of it goes up and then half of it goes down. And it changes here at the axis of symmetry. And so with tracing, there's my increasing side, here's my decreasing side. And these coordinates, this interval is done off the x-axis. So basically, I usually just take a pen and I trace it. So I'm coming from this way. I'm coming from far left, which is negative infinity, until I get, to negative 5. Now, I'm also putting in parentheses here because in terms of increasing, at negative 5, I am neither increasing or decreasing. That's my leveling out point. So that's why I have the parentheses there. Decreasing, I see that's on this side, so I start here at negative 5. And I'm going all the way right, so that goes until infinity. And the direction of opening,
I can breathe in to whistle.
it opens down.